everyone, Cheryl here with a video for the scrapping cottage using the CottageCutz dies, and I'm going to be making this tiered celebration cake today, and this is from CottageCutz wedding release. And here's the die here, and as you can see, the cake on the die, it comes as one piece. You could probably cut them and layer them if you wanted. And then it has all the little flowers and the embellishments and the ribbon and the leaves all on the die. So I just wanted to show you that so you see what comes on the die and how that comes. The cardstock that I'm going to be using today is from Paper Temptress, and the ones that I'm using is this one's a metallic emerald, and I'm using that for the leaves. And then I'm using the laser silver lustri, which you can see it is really pretty. And so that's for the cake. And then I'm using a pink. And so I have already prepped and cut everything, so I'm going to move that aside. Now for my flowers on here, I went ahead and used Helmar scrap dots, but I can't use those in this video. Well, I guess I could, but it won't dry as quick. It takes a couple hours for this to set. So I thought I would use a 450, but we'll see as we get going. So I have all my pieces cut for this. And usually the first thing I do is I want to get all the pieces inked up. So I'm going to do the ribbon and the flowers, but just not the tiny ones. So I'm going to move those out. So I'm going to ink these up. The cake doesn't need to be inked, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Okay. So the ink that I'm going to be using is Angel Pink, and that's a Memento ink. And so basically what I do is I just want the color up at the top mainly, and then coming down along the sides. And we're not going to worry about the bottom. And you probably still can't see. I'm moving you again. Sorry. Hopefully I'm not making anybody dizzy. But I'm just inking like the top. So hopefully you could see that. And then the sides. And so do each one of those. Usually I dust, but I'm not dusting. This is small enough where we can work with the actual ink pad. I'm just putting the ink on there. My lighting might be too much lighting in here. It's funny, I don't even have all my lights turned on. Okay, so those are done. And so for the flowers, all I did was, again, just inking the edges. Oops. If you get more ink, it doesn't matter. And you don't even have to ink if you don't want to, but I like to share how I do my CottageCutz. I know everybody comes up with different ideas for how they like to do them. Sorry, I'm scooting up. And so it's just nice to see different ways. So we need 4 flowers. So one, let's see, the one goes down here. Like, I'm thinking this must be that one. I kind of will get them. Ah. So there's that one. And okay, it goes that one. And I'm thinking that one. Oh wait, this must be the top one. I just want to make sure I've got the sizes all right. So just ink those up. Okay. So what I did, and I guess maybe we can do that. What I did was I used the scrap dots. And the bad thing about this, doing this video, is I don't have time to let them set, so I'll just have to be really careful. I'm going to use some tweezers. Usually I make my flowers and then set them aside. Actually, I think I'm going to use this small one. This one's going to be done a little bit different. And that way... Okay, I'm thinking that'll be fine. Okay, so for the scrap dots, it gives it height, some height to the what you're using. Let me grab. And because I want to be able to put just a little bit, I'm actually taking this tool. I don't even know. It's for the Cricut, and I'm scooping out enough to put on. I'm used to working with the bigger flowers, so when you're working with the smaller ones, you want to be able to put on a smaller amount. And so I'm hoping I can just leave that and let that set. And so for the second flower, I'm just squeezing these up, or bending them up. And this one is a little bigger, so I can control the amount. Let's just hope I can pick that up. Okay, so we need to let that set aside. You can push it down if you want. Oops, it's out of the frame, I think. Okay, so my next one, and you know what I probably should have done was stuck these little guys in the centers, because I just don't want to press them down. So I'm going to actually do that now. I'm using Helmar's 450, and actually I could have probably used the premium on that instead. So let's go ahead. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. I need some tweezers. See, that's the thing. I should have probably done that first. Okay, that's not going to work. So we're going to use just scrap dots, because and this is looking harder than what it was, but come on. Okay, that one got flattened. Oh well. Okay, so before I add this one, I am gluing the piece to the center. I think it's just going to be easier to do that beforehand. And now if I can do this, wow. Usually I don't have that big of a problem working with these. I don't know what's up today. Okay. For some reason, so now I'll do this one. And hopefully you could see that. I don't think I'm going to add the center to that one. I'm going to just have a hard time getting that. And my hands are so sticky, so. Might have to pass on that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have used the scrap dots for this video. But only because you do need to have them set over some time. Whoa. Okay. Phew. Do I have another little one? There we go. So one more. I'm just trying to take the leftover 450 and add a little bit to the back. I don't want too much. Okay. And this one is supposed to go in here. If I can get that. Okay. I'm thinking that we're good. Alrighty, so that's good. So I've got those 4 done, and I'm hoping those are going to dry a little bit while we go ahead and add. And again, it's the scrap dots. These are Helmar scrap dots, and it's just to give some height. It usually takes about 2 hours for that to dry or to set up, and then 24 hours to cure. So the next thing I want to do is add my ribbon, basically. And so this bigger one goes to the bottom, and I should have brought a wet towel down here. Hold on while I wipe my hands. Okay, so now we're just going to glue the ribbon pieces on each tier. And I'm using a premium, Helmar's Premium Craft Glue to do this. And that's what it looks like. Or looks like. Blah. And, whoa, now for the top one. Okay, for the little cording here, or the piping, or whatever it's called, I actually used the same white, the laser silver lustry, and I took 2 Copic markers. Sorry, and you're probably going to be moving. Okay, RV11 and R85 is what I used. And what I did on that was just the darker color. I just brought it along the bottom, or tried to get just the bottom. Kind of gives it a little bit of a shadow. And then I come in with the lighter cover, the color pink, RV11. On all those. And then I go ahead and glue those on next. So while our flowers are trying to dry, we can add those. And I just put a little bit of the glue, and it's still trying to dry. Okay. And then the same with, whoops. This was kind of leaking out a little bit, so I figured I'd use that. Okay. And then the one along the bottom. Pretty. So the next step is to get all the leaves put on. And so this is the top one. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue onto the bottom part of that and stick that right up there. And then I'm using, this one goes on the bottom. Again, a little bit of glue. You can place those however. And then the little one for right here. And I have one more that goes right there. And I just add a little bit of glue. Actually, I added a lot of glue. I could probably put the flowers on each one of these and they'll stay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm taking each flower and I'm going to place one here and then one there, one here, and then the one on the top, which is there. And we are done. Simple, pretty cake. Hopefully you could see that. I forgot which one I did. I think it's, oh, whichever one. Can you see those? And I hope you enjoyed my video today on making the CottageCutz tiered celebration cake. I'm using the die. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.